short video is your final stage to getting your LinkedIn profile absolutely up to scratch and in place. We've already had some conversations with you. We've noted very carefully what you've had to say about yourself, and we've taken some time to go and review that information and make the best of it we can to make the absolute best of your profile. So you'll have received a link from us with Dropbox. I know you've had that because you're watching this now, and this will be the top Read Me First folder in that Dropbox. So congratulations for finding that. Within the Dropbox you'll find a number of other folders with the likes of Top Box Summary, Experience, Personal Gallery, things like that. And within those folders is the information that we are now going to transplant into LinkedIn. So once again, we really appreciate you using us. You're getting onto a magnificent platform now and making the very best of yourself in an area that is used by over 200 million people. So if you think about it a little bit like Yellow Pages, you either have a very small entry or the big banner on the top, which most likely will get you seen further by the likes of Google and other people. So you're going to rank better with this. Without further ado, thanks once again. We appreciate you trusting us to look after your interests, and we look forward to taking you on in the rest of this video and showing you how to complete your profile. Thanks for using LinkedIn to win. Goodbye.
So from the very top, if you go to your email, check, and you will find an email from me, and it will say, here's your new profile. Just follow video instructions to get your profile live in minutes. Click on the link and it will take you through to Dropbox, and this is similar to what most of you will see. Very top, a box says watch first, do not pass go, do not collect $200 or pounds or wherever you are. If that's clear, that's what we want you to do first. That will take you to this YouTube video and you will follow the instructions from there. And the rest of the box is taken up with some images we may be using, screenshots, we'll come back to a little later, and then the documents that we're going to use within the profile. Onto LinkedIn itself. If you're not signed in, you can simply do that by at the top right here. There's a little box you can click on to do that. Once complete, go over to Profile, click Edit Profile, and here we are on what would be familiar to most people, your profile page. At the top left, you can see an image. It's generally agreed that having an image in social media is a pretty good thing. People like the people they think they know, and if they can see your picture, that certainly helps with that. Fairly obvious at the top, name, skipping the personal headline. There's also details on where you come from and your position as you advertise it. The personal headline is in the middle, is a relatively important part. We would advocate you put a picture in. Usually one if you're happy and smiling is probably better than the one that I've got there, would be the recommendation. So once we want to edit, I won't bother with the name because that's relatively straightforward, but the blue pens to the left of each item are where you go. Click to edit headline as it says. Professional headline, particularly important, 120 characters allowed, and you should pack it as much as you can. I shan't alter this one because this is mine and I want to see it, but I can give you the idea here. If you look to the top of that, you can see LinkedIn Expert, and then a space with a vertical dash. Now the vertical dash on my keyboard is just above your right hand shift and to the left of your return button on an Apple QWERTY keyboard, and you can split all your phrases that describe what you do or what you're up to by putting one of those vertical lines in between each one. Now all parts of this are searchable and keyword searchable as well, so it's quite an important section to take care of, and we would recommend you fully use the 120 characters that you're given. So if you are to go to your excuse me, let me just, I think being perfect here, but here is one I've done for Graham Fordham. So in your top box, folder number 1, we've done the 120 character personal headline. So it's a matter of selecting, copying, and then inserting it into that section. So coming back to the profile, let's move on to the summary. This part of your LinkedIn profile I would suggest is pretty critical. It is what we would term an elevator pitch section, i.e. if you get in a lift on a ground floor and you're going to the 10th floor and you want to tell somebody who and what you're about and why you do what you do, well, this is where you do it and in that time frame. So it's packed with an awful lot of information as to who you are, what your values are in general, and why should people come to you. Very, very important part. So to edit that section, literally button at the top, click on edit. We'll go down to what comes out of folder 2, the summary section. Once again, thanks to Graham Forden for allowing me to do his piece. It's a matter of copying that, going back to the summary. Command and A will literally take hold of everything you currently have in your LinkedIn summary, if you have done it. If you haven't put a summary in, there'll be a little button that says Add New, and that's the button you should press. So we can literally paste on top of that. And in the circumstances that we would be doing it yourself, you clearly press the Save button. As this is my profile and I don't particularly want to alter it, I'll press Cancel. But effectively, this is what you're looking at. Now, you're allowed to put in 2,000 characters of information. 2,000 word, 2,000 characters. I would suggest, certainly in this circumstance of what we've done, it will be 2,000. Clearly, with everything that we do, if you wish to edit it or change it or shorten it a little bit, you'd be more than welcome. But our recommendation would be that you keep it in the fashion it is, as a full body of text. Once your summary's in place and you've cut and paste in the wording, you then might want to think of things that are going to enrich this bit of content a little more. And now LinkedIn allows you to do this very, very easily. Just to the right of the edit button, you can see a little lever which allows you to add video, images, documents or presentations. So once again, if we click on that, it offers you to add a link or upload a file. Now this could be a PDF presentation, it could be a PowerPoint, it could be a number of different things that LinkedIn will allow you to do. In this case, what I'm going to do is add some video. So I have, here's one we made earlier. I have a YouTube channel which shows various different things. And there's always a button on your YouTube which says allows you to share. Now this might be a company video, it could be something that's relevant, it could be just something that is of interest and connects well with your sense of what's important. Once you get into share, you'll see a link which automatically highlights. If we just copy that, go back to your profile, click on add link and just paste that link in there, and lo and behold, your video appears, and it's a video of me in Spain. So as this case, I will reword this as Biz Network Guy talks from Spain. And it's always quite a good idea to put in video capitals there, video, just so everybody knows what it is, and save it in there, and it's as simple as that. And if we were to click on done editing at this stage, go back to there, you can see that that just sits in your under your summary, and in a second or so it plays. So that gives you an idea about how you can enrich some things there. Now once again, if I just return to my blog, this is an article about LinkedIn that I wrote fairly recently, and by literally clicking on the URL and once again copying it, we can now go back, and I have to pop it back into edit form again. We can add another link and paste it in, and it comes up with an image, and I can write in there maybe a post from the blog Biz Network Guy, save that, and now people know I'm talking about LinkedIn as well. So you can see how that adds an element of interest. Once people have read what you've had to say, they can go and watch and get a real good sense and a bit more depth as to what you're all about. Now if we return to the Dropbox folder that we've put together for you, you'll see there's a number of documents, and the process is always the same. Open the document, cut and paste the content, go back to your profile, open up the edit section, either delete the current content or Command and A will select it all up and paste in our new entry on top and then save it. It's as simple as that. One of the other large sections that you're going to find within this is the experience entries, which is your working life. So if we once again go back to LinkedIn, experience, generally speaking, comes under profile. If for any reason your summary is under your experience or your working life, I would recommend that you move it to the top, and that's simply done within Edit by clicking and lifting, and it will alter the position now from experience to the top. If we don't want that, we're going to have to now go down and find summary and lift that back up. So summary, and we want that above to the top, and there it goes. So you can see it's really relatively easy to move these things around, but my recommendation would be summary first, followed by work experience. Now you'll see here there's a number of options here. You have add a position, so if you have a new position or something you haven't catered for, and I think with a few of you, you're going to find that you've put a very thin spread on your experience section. So you may be adding a few positions and then just cutting and pasting the information in. Alternatively, once again, as I said, you can go to the edit, which will allow you to change or name the company. Change the company if it's edit. If it's an add a position, that will be a box rather similar to this one to enable you to do that. Your location, whether it's in the United Kingdom or somewhere else, and then once again your description comes underneath. So once again, if we return to our experience paper, what you're more likely to be seeing here is a list of different positions. As you can see, Graham's done a few in his time. So what we're going to do, we're just going to take film source for the purposes of this. Now this is a little bit more tricky in some ways in that there's at least 2 or 3 boxes to fill in. So you're going to have a date. So if you can remember your dates, then just go and fill them in at the LinkedIn, and then it'll ask for a title of the company, which you're either going to edit or add new, as I said before. So by copying the main body of the work, we go back to LinkedIn, and having filled these sections out for title, location and period, March 13 to present, just one click on there, Command A, and then paste in the new information and go to save it. And what you end up with is the few words that we have here. The experience section requires a bit of detail. It's an important part of your profile. And LinkedIn realizes this and therefore allows you, same as the summary, around about 2,000 words to express yourself here and let the world know what you're all about. As with the summary, you can add links, you can add presentations that are specific and relevant to each position. So for an example, with some work I've been doing from March this year till present with thermal and acoustic barrier systems, we have a video once again that we can watch and share with interested parties the kind of work that you do. To summarize then, the experience section is an important part. You can incorporate a lot of detail and give the people that are coming to your profile some real depth of your character and what you do. We make it as simple as possible. Within the folders you will get the Word documents or the written content that you can cut from. Go back to your LinkedIn profile and paste it straight in. It certainly saves you a heck of a lot of time in writing, and will give you as much detail as we think is optimal to your profile. Now that we've covered the main body in terms of the summary and the experience, it's time to move on and look at the other detail that goes into your profile. You can look into courses. I've done a very interesting one, neurolinguistic program, in my time, and a fair bit of health and safety due to my time in the event industry. I am thinking that many of you may have done an awful lot more than I have, but there's the area you can fill that in. Languages, it's important for people to understand the breadth of your abilities in that area. So you can add all those sections. In here, It's the same as before. It's the edit button surrounded by the pen, which will allow you to go in and give yourself some detail. Look, I can add that to it right now while I'm thinking about it. See, I've improved my own profile in one go. Skills and expertise. Quite often underlooked this. You can have up to 50 skills and expertises, which then allows others to come along and endorse you for those skills. So I have 27 people who firmly believe that I am rather good at new business development. Maybe not so brilliant at brand development, or telecommunications. But you can see where the advantages come in people once again getting a depth and breadth to you as a person and what you can achieve. Education, schooling, some will have more, some will have less. Adding links to your school sites, your college sites, maybe some of the educational information with regard to some of the lectures, videos, once again, would be very useful in this section. Additional info, LinkedIn, probably not like Facebook, so you're not going to get a fantastic amount of information in here, but it gives a little indicator of your outside of working interests and what you enjoy in life. And I do enjoy a good old English pub, that's for sure. Personal details, birthdays, whether you're married, just have a look at, there's a pretty simple section here to deal with just your date and your marital status, as you can see here. Advice for contacting. Well, at the top of your LinkedIn profile, if we can just track back up, I go to Done Editing, there is a contact info section. Within that, I choose to be quite open about it. It's your choice as to how you fulfill this section. Emails, Skype IDs, mobile phone numbers in my case, my Twitter feeds and my blogs and personal websites all go in this section. Further down, you have another chance to enhance that. I suppose it saves people going all the way back up to the top to look, and I don't see any harm in putting details in. In this section, I've chosen to mention that at the top of the page is an area where you can best get hold of me, and repeated some of the other areas. Publications, if you've written a book, I happen to have written two. I find that Would Your Boss is probably more suitable to LinkedIn, so I've mentioned this one, and it allows you to add a fair bit of detail on what those publications are about. Recommendations, a really useful attribute because it allows others to put a little bit of detail or a significant amount of detail into the frame of reference for what you're all about. You have the opportunity to edit these. It's quite nice when people do it off the bat. I don't think there's any problem with actually asking people if you think they're relevant and important to what you're doing to provide some form of recommendation. They are certainly powerful tools for you and your credibility and for people to trust in you. Connections speak for themselves, just a bit like Facebook or any other social media. These are the people you happen to know, the people that you happen to associate with and work with. I'd be careful about who you pick, I'd be careful about who you choose, but equally so I'll be active in the pursuit of connections, because this is how the whole system works. Groups. Groups are numbers of people with similar interests to yourselves, and you can spend a lot of time searching for groups and getting the numbers of people that you can connect with. There is benefit in groups with being able to connect with people in a slightly easier way. LinkedIn tends to be very, very careful of people's privacy, which is good and is correct and right. It also likes to enable people to get in touch at the same time via strict routes. Groups is one of those routes of doing that, which makes it slightly easier to source and find people that you are going to find of interest and who are going to find you of interest to them. Influencers, people you like, people you think are interesting, and companies that you follow, companies maybe your competitors, keeping an eye on them, maybe people that you want to work with, who are of interest specifically to you. This whole bottom section is something you really can go and play with. I would highly advocate that you do that, and take advantage of all the powerful tools that are available to you on LinkedIn. I hope that you find the updated profile you now have to be of use and to help you moving forward. It's been a privilege for us to be involved and to work with you, and we're delighted to share with you now your new and sparkling profile. We wish you all the best. Any questions, please do get in touch with us at linkedintowin.com or drop us an email. Thanks very much.